Last year, in the month of February 4th, I lost my mother to the cold hands of death. Then in the month of May, she was buried. Then my husband said to me, my wife, I think we need to leave to Abuja because I'm a public servant and we're based in Lagos. So I got transferred to Abuja, and he said to me, immediately we get to Abuja, we are going to join Streams of Joy. I joined my husband because the Bible said that what God has joined together, let no man put us under. So I had to follow my husband, as the word says in the book of Proverbs 31. So we came down to Abuja. On the 20th of October was the day we joined Streams of Joy. And Papa said, just give me 3 months of your time. If you know that you haven't gotten what you want, you can leave. So we came in. Prior to that time, my husband has lost his job 27th of September 2018. He was not working. I was the only one that was doing what I had to do for the family to be together. So on the 21st of October, we came down to Abuja and joined Streams of Joy. Before that time, we now became dedicated in NSPPD prayers. Before we were doing just online, off and on. We came dedicated. I have my book here. Then I had a swollen on my right foot. How it disappeared, I don't know. But Papa would say, let every abnormality disappear. Now in December, while we joined Streams of Joy, we already joined discipleship. Because we said, if you want to be a member, you have to be dedicated. So we had to go through the process of going for our discipleship class, which we did. Then afterward, the crossover night now came for us to serve. There was a meeting before that crossover night, and the word went in forth and said that no matter where you serve, just set your heart and God will answer you. So we went ahead to serve crossover nights. I served in special needs. My husband served as a traffic. We worked and worked for God, and God answered us. How did it happen? The growth of my leg disappeared on the 15th of January. How it disappeared, I don't know. How it disappeared, I don't know. I came back from work and I asked my husband, baby, I cannot feel the numb on my leg again. No. How does it disappear? And I thought it was a miracle. Because, there is God in Streams of Joy. Just set your heart. You know why you are here? Just set your heart and God will answer you. He came for me. Growth disappeared from nowhere. Now back to my husband. On the 20th, while on fasting, this is the very first time I and my husband fast 6 to 6. We don't used to do 6 to 6. Maybe I had 6 to 2. Now look for food and we eat. But he said to myself, baby, we need to fast. So we need to fast. Because we know what we want from God. And we fasted. On the 13th of January, while on NSPPD, a word went forth. Papa said that day was 5 days of throne room verdict. He said, write 7 major things. Write 7 things that you want God to do for you. On my number 4th list was my husband. I said, employment my husband. Meanwhile, I said, 6 years, 4 years, no job. He has even gone as low to apply to be a driver. Because he wants to put a food on the table. And I said to him, on the 22nd, he got this call that I should come for a driver's interview. I said to him, baby, I don't like this one you want to go for. I don't like this one you want to go for. Don't worry. I have to encourage my husband. I said, God will do it for you. While we came to church on the 20th, after during the prayer and fasting, he came to meet me and he said, Ima, he calls me Ima. Ima means my love in Akwa Ibom. He called me Ima. He now said, Ima, I just received a call that I should be in Port Harcourt before the 25th of January. Remember I said, on my book, I wrote that I want employment for my husband before the 27th. That thing was written on the 13th of January. Papa said, he said, put a date, which I did. So that the word has gone forth, and when he told me in church here, I couldn't shout. What I did was to cry. Tears of joy. I was praying, I was crying. I was singing, I was praying, I was crying. But when we now got home, I now had to tell him, baby, let's go on our knees. So now, when we now got to Now, when he now traveled on Wednesday, we didn't stop the prayer. So remember, we still had to wait for the manifestation to comfort. So we were still praying and praying on NSPPD. On the 24th, Papa gave a word again. He said, receive your new testimony before Monday 27th. Wow. The word went ahead and we received our testimony. Lo and behold, my husband, after 6 years, has gone back to sheep. I'm here to say thank you. That's my baby. Thank you. Baby. What God cannot do does not exist. Pastor Jereze, God bless you.